Welcome back to the Lone Wolf 368 channel. Here you will find the latest in gaming, tech, music, and trending news, all in one place. I keep things clear, current, and packed with value, so you're always up to speed on what matters. Join the ever-growing Wolfpack by hitting subscribe. It is completely free and helps the channel grow, so I can keep bringing you more informative and entertaining content. Let's keep building this community together. Stay sharp, stay informed, and welcome to the Wolfpack.
Hello and welcome back to Lone Wolf 368. Glad you could join me. Today we're going to be talking about F1 in 2026. Cars already being a big problem. Formula 1 says the 2026 regulations will make the sport better. More efficient engines, closer racing, and more road relevance. But behind the press releases and polished renderings, there's a growing concern inside the paddock, and engineers are quietly admitting something uncomfortable. Formula 1 might be repeating old mistakes, just in a more complicated way. Today we're breaking down why F1's 2026 cars are already a big problem, and why the sport could be heading towards another era of unintended consequences. So what 2026 is supposed to fix? On paper, the 2026 rules sound logical. F1 wants 100% sustainable fuels, a 50-50 split between internal combustion and electric power, smaller lighter cars, and a closer racing through active aerodynamics. The current hybrid era is insanely complex and expensive, so the FIA's goal is simpler power units, lower costs, and more manufacturers joining the grid. Audi is coming in, Honda is staying, Ford is backing Red Bull. So far so good, but the problem isn't the idea of change, it's how all these changes interact once you put a car on the track. The power unit problem. Let's start with the engine, because this is where the first red flag appears. In 2026, the MGU-H is gone. That's the component that recovers energy from the exhaust gases. Instead, F1 is massively increasing reliance on the MGU-K, the electric motor connected to the drivetrain. The result, around 50% of the car's total power comes from electricity, with far less total energy available per lap. And here's the issue: battery development becomes critical and limited. Drivers may have to lift and coast more often, manage energy aggressively, and potentially run out of electrical power before the end of the long straights. That's not theoretical. Teams have already warned us that cars could hit full throttle and still decelerate at the end of the straights. That's something F1 hasn't seen in decades. An F1 car slowing down on the straight because of the battery is empty is not just counterintuitive, it's anti-racing. So active aero solution or distraction. To compensate for power loss, F1 is introducing active aerodynamics. Cars will switch between high downforce mode for corners, low drag mode on the straights. Think of it as DRS, but permanently automated. The problem? Active aero is being asked to solve too many problems at once. Compensate for reduced engine power, improve overtaking, reduce drag, and maintain safety. That's a huge burden. If active aero fails to perform perfectly, the racing suffers immediately. And worse, even every car optimises these systems in similar ways. The field converges again. Different bodywork, same lap times, same dirty air issues. We've been here before. The FIA promises smaller, lighter cars, but look closer. Yes, the wheelbase is reduced. Yes, the cars are slightly narrower, but batteries are still heavy. Safety structures keep growing, and energy storage systems aren't getting lighter fast enough. The risk? We end up with cars that are still overweight, more fragile, and harder to race wheel to wheel. When cars are heavy and power limited, drivers can't rely on throttle control to attack or defend. That's when racing becomes sterile. The cost cap paradox. Here's the irony. The cost cap was meant to level the playing field, but radical regulation changes do the opposite, at least initially. Big teams can run more simulations, take earlier risks, and recover faster from wrong concepts. Smaller teams can't afford to get it wrong. If the 2026 concept has a narrow performance window, and science suggests it does, then one bad design choice could lock a team into years of mediocrity. That's not competitive racing, that's technical roulette. So, none of this means 2026 will be a disaster. Formula 1 engineers are brilliant, rules can be adjusted, and problems can be fixed. But the warning signs are already there. Power units that fight the laws of racing instincts, aero systems doing too much heavy lifting, cars that may look new but feel familiar in the wrong ways. If F1 isn't careful, 2026 won't be remembered as a revolution. It'll be remembered as another lesson in how good intentions don't always create good racing. And in Formula 1, that's a mistake you can't afford to repeat. So, I hope you found this interesting, something a bit different again. If you have, please hit the like, share the content, and subscribe to the ever-growing Wolfpack. Thanks again for watching. As always, take care of one another, and I'll catch you on the next one.